as we know, in almost all states, right, except for Arizona, Washington, D.C. We're seeing Utah that they are sunsetting what they started to do, right? For the most part, there's non-lawyers are not allowed to own law firms. So we're going to move into our next question, which is what is a MSO? And what role do you foresee for MSOs in the sales of personal injury law firms?
So I will speak to this gently because we are business people. We are called here we did not create MSOs. They've existed actually in the legal industry in the United States for a long time. There's a new article out today as we're recording this from Holland and Knight, from Trisha Rich and Josh Ford, the team there, which shows that MSOs have been going on in the United States for more than 20 years in the legal industry. We don't have a stake in this one way or another. We simply are responding to what founders want as they're seeking liquidity or seeking growth through the bringing in outside capital. And what institutional investors want. We don't make these rules, and we can't really weigh in on this, but we can describe it, generally, which is basically an MSO is where you are basically creating a managed service organization that is everything but the lawyer. Imagine that you are separating this business into two entities, and this is the same thing that happens, let's say, across the medical industry. Here you have the lawyers, and over here, you have everything else: the brand, IT infrastructure, marketing, paralegals, customer support, IT, benefits, HR, real estate management, et cetera. It is, and then you are basically, that managed service organization is then providing that infrastructure as a service back to the lawyers. So that is, generally speaking, what an MSO is. Now, there are some really important things there. Number one, law firms must stay in control. So across jurisdictions, the ethical analysis is 100% clear and consistent. These arrangements absolutely require the law firm to firmly remain at the helm, directing every single aspect of legal work and exercising unqualified authority over professional judgment. The outside entity, whether it's a PEO, whether it's an employee leasing company, whether it's a management company, an outsourcing provider, all the things we kind of couch in MSO, they operate strictly in a supportive role to enable the firm. And so what is really important in all of these things, and this is why we have to bring in deal structurers, legal ethicists, valuation folks, as we're helping institutional capital and founders do this. Number one, preserve the independence of legal judgment. Number two, avoid fee splitting and revenue-based compensation. Number three, maintain a clear division between legal services and law-related services. Number four, protect confidentiality and data governance. Number five, manage conflicts thoroughly. Number six, supervision of non-lawyer personnel. Lawyers must remain responsible for the conduct of non-lawyer personnel performing these delegated services. And so lawyers must supervise the MSO personnel. And so typically the lawyers, when they have their rollover equity, it's going to be in the MSO. And the last point is there's nothing to hide here. These have been going on in the United States for a long, long time. Communicate honestly to everyone about the structure. Jordan, anything you want to add to that?
My goodness, no, that was incredibly comprehensive. What I can say is, in terms of starting an MSO, or if you're running a PI firm right now and you're thinking, what do I need to do about this in order to prep for a transaction? Do I have to start my MSO? What I would say is an MSO is a tool. It's not the goal. You really want to focus on your law firm, and don't get twisted up in the MSO structure. Of course, that's what folks like Seth or myself are around and can support, that thought process and that decision making. But you need to run the law firm. And so that is critical. There's too many folks that get twisted up in the new thing of the day.
Yep.
And the most important thing is to run a great law practice.
Yeah, and we've as Jordan said, we are business people, and so and our entire reason for existing is for helping founders achieve what they want. So, many times we're called in and they think they need this or they think they need that. We go back to basically root and say, what is it that you're trying to achieve? Now, I will say that we do see some founders, you do not need to do this ahead of the transaction, by the way. But what we do see happening is some founders that want to scale their firm ahead of a transaction to build more value into the firm. And to do that, they might need to recruit and retain some non-lawyers who are going to be really, really critical for them to execute their vision. So they might want to hire a president from the outside. They might want to hire a COO. They might want to hire a chief marketing officer. And they are now competing for talent with other businesses that can offer that talent stack, equity, or options. In those cases, some founders may decide, even though they're not bringing on non-lawyer ownership, to set up an MSO so that they can give those non-lawyer executives equity in the MSO. But you also don't have to do that. You can just basically pledge phantom equity, right? Or some types of transaction bonuses, et cetera. If at some point in time in the future, there is a transaction and an MSO is established. But these are the reasons. But again, it comes back to what is it that you're trying to achieve? And then we design from there, and then we bring in the cast of characters to help us.